Well, welcome back to the channel, guys. Pretty excited for this one because I finally have the chance to revisit this series and really revisit it or get it going properly this time. I think I had done 2 videos, and just between moving around and wanting to touch on some other video topics at the time, I didn't get to really complete the series the way I had envisioned from the beginning. So I'll take the chance to do this, and with the series, I kind of want to cover all of the workouts I'm doing currently right now, break them down, and then also touch on some nutrition and supplementation. So with that in mind, today's portion of supplementation is just going to be the pre-workout I'm taking, which I've been taking probably for almost 2 years now. And Raw offers a couple different pre's that you can kind of combine to your liking. I think overall, I just keep coming back to this combo between the pre and the pump. It's great for me because I don't like a whole lot of caffeine when I'm taking pre-workout. I used to really get into it, but now I kind of like just enough to give me some energy for the session, but not have me too wired. So with the pre, each scoop only has 50 milligrams of caffeine. So that way, in 2 scoops, I'm just getting in 100 milligrams, about a cup of coffee, and that's all I need. But the benefit is, even at a low concentration of caffeine, it's still dosed correctly with some citrulline malate to help facilitate the pump, as well as a little bit of glycerol. And then I'm adding in more glycerol with the pump squared, which is just a patented form of the glycerol with another 6 grams. So the pump is crazy, feel nice and full when I train. And the pre also has some added benefits to kind of help facilitate focus. It's got something called L-tyrosine in there, and I definitely noticed myself locking into the session a little bit more. Plus, I know some guys who take L-tyrosine just to clear up like brain fog throughout the day. Shout out to Mike. You put me on to taking L-tyrosine outside of just kind of using it for the workout. So I might even have to try that on the days I'm kind of bogged down. I think they sell capsules out there or something where you can just take it straight, but it's in the pre-workout, helps with the focus. So and the taste is pretty good too. It's a solid blue, can't go wrong. All right, but that's enough of this with the pre-workout. Time to get into the session today. It is chest and shoulders. Now this is usually the second chest session I'm doing in the week, so the compound movements aren't quite as heavy as the first chest session of the week, but the pump is still pretty dang good. And then at the end of the session, that's when I like to kind of directly attack the shoulders. So I'm gonna put in a movement to target the lateral head of the delt, so that outer head that really helps with roundness, and then an additional movement that's gonna focus a little bit more on the front head of the delt. So it should be a good workout. Yeah. These guys I do really before any workout that I'm going to be doing pressing movements. So chest, shoulders, or like today, chest and shoulders. It's perfect for, warms up the muscles of my rotator cuff. I've noticed, like I've been doing this for years now, this little circuit here. So it's just 12 reps of each exercise. I usually write it as one together, but it's a Y raise, an I raise, going down and back, and then a W raise, just like 10 or 12 reps. Try to control it, squeeze, get some blood into the rotator cuff. Yeah, even when I've been doing heavy presses, I've been fortunate. Now I still warm up, but I just don't really have any pain in my shoulders, so I can just focus on working the chest. So now that my shoulders are warmed up, first movement that I'm gonna start with is the incline dumbbell press. This was great, especially from focusing on my upper chest here. As I'm doing them, what I want to focus on is, of course, putting as much tension on my upper chest as possible, so at least controlling the weight, and then also kind of cueing myself to squeeze the inside of my elbows together. So look something like this. Nice stretch. As I'm driving up, I'm not trying to just bring the weight together, so I don't get as much contraction across my chest, right? So instead of trying to touch the weight together, think about touching your biceps with the inside of your elbows together. So it looks more like this. Come on. Boom, finish it right there. Nice stretch. Squeeze. All right. And then probably do two or three warm-up sets, anywhere from like 6, 7, 8 reps each. Not enough to really gas out, but just enough to get the motion down, get some blood in the chest finally, and then the working set starts. So warm-up sets never count as part of the working sets. Let's get it. Alright, so normally I try to pick a gym that's gonna have the appropriate weight I need to do for whatever I'm working out. Fortunately, this gym only goes up to 100 pounds in the dumbbells. Ideally, I'd like to play with 110 or 120 and see if I can knock out a good 8, 9, or 10 reps, especially kind of for these middle sets, but they don't have it. So what I essentially need to do is either stack weight, which doesn't always go as planned, and I've tried that in the past, or I'll make the hundreds feel a little bit heavier by changing the tempo. So with this, I'm gonna do like 3-4 second negatives on each rep, and yeah, by the time if I get to 10, I'll be feeling it. Good. I think I got like 5 controlled negatives, and then just tried to bust out an extra 3 or 4 on there because I knew another negative wasn't happening. So now we're on to the second movement, which is a superset between the flat press and the flat fly. It's nice because you can do them both on the same bench. Now, kind of similar to the incline press, I want to lift my chest up and then focus on squeezing the inside of my elbows together, and almost imagining myself bending the bar. So bending it in a way where my pinkies would turn down. Kind of tend to get a good connection with my chest on the movement. So the idea, at least, is to get a little less shoulder involvement, a little more tension just on the chest. And then probably won't go heavier than this, because once I add in another 10 reps targeting my chest with the flies, it's pretty cooked even after one set. So we'll try to push through 4 of these as best I can, get close to 10 and 10 reps, but keep them quality. applies too. Kind of going alongside that tip to squeeze your elbows together. I don't like coming all the way together with the dumbbells, or you can kind of get away with cables because you still have tension pulling out. With the dumbbells, as soon as you get to directly over your chest, you start losing some of the tension, because the only tension you have with the dumbbells is going to be the gravity pulling them straight down, right? So as soon as your arm gets to vertical, right, you start losing that tension, especially if you're going past vertical. Put them together, you know, you're not gonna be able to keep the tension on the pec, and then you're gonna kind of have to re-engage as you come back down. So to avoid that, just cut it short of 90, maybe go like 80 degrees roughly, and it's a lot harder, but that's the purpose of it. Alright, so now on to some dips. With these, if you're new to the channel or haven't heard before, when you're doing a dip, whether you're doing body weight or adding some weight, the more you lean over, the more you tend to hit your chest. So that's what we'll be doing today. And if I want to hit more tricep, I could do them a little more upright on my torso. So for the chest today, I'm going to try not to go too much deeper than 90 degrees with my elbow. That usually gets a full stretch on my chest. And then I want to squeeze up, not to the point where I'm locking out and just supporting my weight, but come up essentially all the way so I'm able to get a full squeeze on my chest. I don't like to stop these short, but we'll start with a 45. Actually, you know what? I did a little body weight warm up, so I'm gonna get greedy and throw a 25 on too. So on these guys, I like these. No, I like both, honestly. Like, the advantage of this over dumbbells is, one, it's single arm, so I tend to get a better mind muscle connection, at least sometimes, because you're just focusing on one delt at a time. But I do like that at the bottom of the rep, even when the arm's straight down with the dumbbell, you don't get much tension on that lateral head. But here, because the weight is still pulling kind of horizontally, I'm still getting good tension at the bottom, and then kind of carry that through. And one little interesting thing on this, I picked this up from Charles Glass not too long ago, because he's done, if you ever see him, he'll do lateral raises with almost his pinky up, not really for the rear delt, but just to isolate the lateral head a little more effectively. And I realized, I think I like this, because naturally when I pick up this handle, it tends to pitch forward just a little bit, which then shifts my pinky up. So as I'm coming out, my pinky's almost leading it slightly. Like, it's not super exaggerated, but just enough to where it ignites the lateral head of my delt that much better. So we'll do 4 sets of these, somewhere in the 10 to 12 rep range. Shorter rest times here is about 60 seconds is enough. finished with a barbell shoulder press. Now I would like to do these with a Smith machine. However, once again, there's no Smith machine at this gym. So what I'm gonna do to kind of stabilize my shoulder a little bit is do, I think they call it like a scrape press. So I'm really just pushing into the rack the whole time. I'm gonna use this part of this is right in front of me. And I'm gonna try to keep equal tension, maybe like 30% pushing into the rack, 70% pushing the weight up. Again, I normally do the Smith, I haven't done these. We'll kind of, let's see how these go to start. Honestly, that doesn't feel far off from a Smith machine, which again, especially after already hitting the lateral raises, I like to do something that's a little more stable for my shoulders. I tend to not go to dumbbells after, you know, isolating one part of my shoulder. Sometimes I will, but if I do, I'll go a little bit lighter. So this kind of allows me to put on a little bit more weight, still be stable, and then this, like the Smith machine, I get a pretty good connection with my shoulders, particularly my front delt. So I might have to do this a little bit more. Not done a proper back shot like that in months. Even really a proper front one. Maybe one day, get back on stage. We were just talking about that with someone in here. I really enjoy this body composition, to be honest. A little bit off topic from the video, but I feel much healthier. I was just talking to Zach, like maybe I'd take a fat percentage or two, but knock down a fat percentage or two. But other than that, I'm happy, because usually I'm doing like 30 minutes of cardio right now in the mornings. Most days post-workout cardio, if my workout's efficient. I'm not taking long breaks or anything for any reason. And yeah, training good, sessions are good 90 minutes of intensity. I don't know, I've been pretty happy with that. Happy with the results, and hopefully, as long as I stay injury-free, not get any additional tattoos, at least this year, because these big pieces take a while to heal up and I kind of lose some progress. Yeah, been progressing good aside from that, so we'll kind of keep that rhythm going. Anyway, that's all I have for you for today's workout. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will be doing more, like I said, now that I can kind of properly dedicate the time to this series. I'll be getting through all of my workouts eventually, but the order in which I do them is kind of up to you guys. So let me know in the comments below what workout you'd like to see next for this series, and I'll take note, and Zach and I and Mike will get to filming and editing. You know what else too? There's this whole new Threads thing, which some of you probably know about. I was never even on Twitter. I'm not big on all that, so I'm trying to figure out Threads. But if you want to comment in there what videos you want to see next, or just leave questions, I'm usually in there at some point during the day trying to keep the thread going, however the lingo works for that. But yeah, I'm in there, so if you want to hit me on there too, it's the same as my Instagram. Those are always linked below the like button, and that's enough of that. Gonna get some food in. Thank you guys for watching. That's my chest and shoulder session. But what do I know? I'm just Murphy.